Black Rhino wheels for the Toyota Tacoma. Are they any good or are they just junk? Let's talk about it. Well, good afternoon everybody and welcome back to RobMotive. So let's talk about Black Rhino wheels on the Toyota Tacoma. Are they any good or are they just junk? Well, first of all, let me give you a little background as to what I have. I wanted something a little bit different, so I went with bronze. Step outside my comfort zone, to be honest. I've never had colored wheels on a truck before. They've always been black or the chrome that actually comes with the truck. This time I decided to go ahead and do bronze, and I like the Black Rhino wheels. These in particular are a 16 by 8. They are a -10 offset, and they're called Black Rhino Stadiums, in case you're interested. I think they were a little over 200 bucks a piece, something like that. And I got them from Discount Tire, installed on these BF Goodrich KO2s, which by the way are a 285/75 R16. And I went with 16s because I wanted a nice big tread wall to absorb the bumps and stuff. So first thing, why did I go with these to begin with? Well, I liked them, obviously, and I wanted an offset. So I wanted the tires to stick out a little bit. So let's take a look. You can see with a -10 offset, that's what you're gonna get. Now, it's not huge, and to be honest, I could go with another inch, inch and a half, maybe even 2 inches of offset. I just love the way that it looks, but then you start to run into rubbing problems. You know, when you turn, you can hit the back of the fender well, the front of the fender well, it can just be a mess. Although, when you bring them out like this, you're not gonna have any problem with the UCAs. You can see in here, I've got a good deal of room between the tire and the UCAs, so I'm not gonna have any rubbing ever that way. But we're not here to talk about tires and offset, we're here to talk about Black Rhino wheels. So, a couple of things about these. They come with a chrome finish on the Black Rhino company name here. And I didn't like that. You know, I put the black lug nuts on because I didn't want chrome. And I certainly didn't want chrome sticking out right in the center of the wheels. So what I did, I had them leave the caps off when I picked these up. And then on the back, there are plastic welds. So you can go ahead, I actually dremeled through those and pulled the letters off from the back. They kind of sit inside this grooving or whatever for the letters themselves. So I pulled them off and then I painted the letters. Now, I was concerned as to how they were gonna hold up. You know, they're just painted. Is it gonna flake off? Is it gonna chip off? Will the water affect them? Stuff like that. And you can see, and looking at them right now, they look just like they did the day that I got them. There is a video or two on the channel about how I did that, if you're interested in checking that out. But I'm very happy with it. They've held up very well, and I love the blacked out look. I think Black Rhino would be doing themselves a favor if they went with this kind of theme stock. I think they should get rid of the chrome, in all honesty, and go with black because it just looks so good. So Black Rhino, if you're out there, and you're listening, go with black letters in that center cap. You can still see your company name. It's no big deal. Get rid of the chrome. So they've turned out pretty well. I like the way that they look. The lug nuts, of course, in black. Gotta have that. That's a must. Now, how are the wheels doing themselves? Well, first of all, let me tell you, I have intentionally not cleaned them. These wheels have not been cleaned in probably, I'm guessing, at least a couple of months. So you can get an idea of what they look like dirty. Because let's be honest, as soon as you take the truck out, particularly if you do any off-roading or gravel roading or anything like that, they're not gonna be shiny clean like they were when you picked them up at the shop that installed them. So this is what they look like, and they look pretty darn good. If I was to run my finger across them, you'd see that they are very, very dirty. I just don't want to leave a finger mark on the wheel because then I actually have to clean them, and I don't want to do that. What about the finish itself? You know, I've had other versions, black painted wheels, where eventually the black starts to chip, starts to discolor, maybe fades a little bit, And I think that's a good thing about having bronze. Bronze does not seem to fade to me, not like black does. Also, doesn't show any scratching or anything crazy like that on the wheels. There's no chipping, and they really look just like they did brand new, minus the coating of dirt and dust that's on them. So I'm very happy with that. I think I'd be comfortable using them off-road. I wouldn't have any big issue with that. Of course, I believe if you are a big-time off-roader and you're going to be out scraping through the trails, you know, the rocks and the tree branches and ruts and stuff like that, probably would be a better idea to do a painted wheel. If I was into that kind of off-roading, that's definitely what I would have. And the reason is because you can touch it up. You just grab yourself a can of black matte finish or whatever finish you have on those wheels, and I would suggest matte if you're into that. And then you get home, and if you want your wheels to look good again, you just hit them with some paint. Mask off the tire or not, you're off-roading, right? And go ahead and hit them with a little bit of the rattle can. They will look awesome. No need to do that with these, although like I mentioned, I wouldn't use these or any aftermarket good-looking wheel for any kind of heavy-duty off-roading. I just think it ruins them, and if you're gonna spend the money on them, why would you go ahead and put them through that kind of torture and then have to look at them yourself and think, gee, why did I spend the money on these wheels so I could take them off and beat the hell out of them? I just wouldn't do it. As far as the size, I mentioned that a little bit earlier. They are 16x8s. I would go with a little bit different offset. I'd probably go with a +1 millimeter if I was to do it again, assuming they're available in this particular wheel. That's going to push the tires out about 2 inches, and I think that's a perfect look for the Toyota Tacoma. I think it would be awesome. Now, one other thing I want to caution you about, and I ran into this when I had the Ram. A lot of people try to put smaller wheels on the Ram. They come with the big 20-inch wheels. The problem is they also come with a giant brake caliper. That brake caliper, if you go with a wheel that's too small, it's going to scrape inside. And of course, if you have balance weights, typically they're on the inside of the wheel, like you can see right here. They obviously push up into the interior of the wheel, and if there's not enough clearance between the brake caliper and the interior of the wheel, you're going to have a problem. There's another YouTuber I know, he put some really nice wheels on a Ford F-150, and then he discovered that the wheels were rubbing the brake calipers and even some of the other suspension parts on the inside. You don't want that surprise. Don't waste your money, because once you hack up the inside of the wheel, you're not going to be able to return them. So, would I recommend these? The black Rhino Stadiums. Absolutely. I think if you have a darker colored truck or even white, bronze is an awesome choice. And you can get these in different colors, I believe. I think you can get them in black as well. But they've done very well. I love that they hold up. One more thing I want to mention. If you're into wheels, you're looking for wheels, make sure you get some that have a lip, that don't have anything that comes up here. Anything that's going to create a dam for the water. Because what's going to happen is the water's going to pool when you get home from wherever you're at, even if you just wash the wheel. And then it's going to dry and you're going to have a dirty spot here. This way the water just rolls off, very easy to keep clean. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you have. Do you have the black Rhinos? And if so, what do you think of them? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive MT, all about mini trucks, currently the Hyundai Santa Cruz, and RobMotive JT, all about Jeep Gladiators. Right now, my brand new, to me, Jeep Gladiator Mojave. Check them out, and if you're... We have a visitor. And if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.